Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN 2190, and if you blinked, you might not have seen it. This car was sold in under 4 hours, but I already had everything ready to go for a deep dive, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway, just so you have the data points. So this is a 2017 1J7, which is atomic silver with LA20 black interior, for sale at Lexus of Santa Barbara in California, 54,000 miles for $50,000. That's why it sold so fast, and we'll dive into it. But it looks like it's been a California car its whole life, and as I said, if you blinked, you would have missed it. Production statistics: 328 out of the 2,348 cars were 1J7 atomic silver. 151 of those had LA20 black interior. 6.43% of all of the US 49 production was this combo, so like a 5 or 6 out of 10 for rarity. Not super common, but not super rare either. For 2017, it becomes rare because it's a 2017. 58 out of the 342 cars for the US 49 were atomic silver, and only 26 of those had LA20 black interior. So this car is one of 26 at its rarest. Pretty rare in that regard, but mainly because it's a 2017. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a one owner, no accident car. Again, what you want to see: one owner, no accident, California car. Epic VIN shows this as a two owner, no accident car, and I don't think that's correct. AutoCheck shows this as a one owner, no accident car. So I think it is safe to assume this is a one owner, clean title, no accidents, California car. Less than 8% of these cars that exist here in March of 2026 are still one owner, no accident cars. And so this is one of those cars. Previous sales: March of 2017, $88,000 in California, and it sold in August of 2017. So about 5 months for sale. And now in March of 2026 at Lexus of Santa Barbara for $50,000. And again, it sold in under 4 hours, and it maybe it sold to an employee or something like that, but never got photos posted or anything like that, any other details. I would expect it to probably be a pretty clean example based on what we know so far. So now onto the photos. As I said, they didn't have any photos posted. They got the listing up and then probably sold it right away. But this is one of like the 100 or so cars that I don't actually have any previous for sale photos either. So since this car sold, I guess at that point it doesn't really matter, but maybe the next time it comes up for sale. So now into the price. The price is, I would call it slightly low for the mileage because it's a 2017. If it was a 2016, it's like $48,000 to $52,000. I would expect to see this car probably like $52,000 to $53,000, $54,000, something like that. So that's another reason why it probably sold quickly, is because it was priced basically like a 2016. But again, I'm not surprised whatsoever that this car sold as fast as it did. So now into the service history. This car is extremely well dealer serviced too, so the green flags just keep on coming. The first entry of note is July of 2018. The JLB recall was done. That's the high pressure fuel pumps. And they updated the front and rear pads and rotors to there's a Lexus service bulletin on noisy brakes. And so this was updated to the less noisy version of those. You saw that on a lot of them early on. And at that same service, at 10,000 miles, they ordered some touch-up paint. Not unusual to see. February of 2019, remove a dent in the left rear quarter panel, and they noted that the blind spot monitor was shorted out due to an impact. And so I don't know if they replaced it, but a month later, another adjustment due to an impact, and I would assume this is to the rear bumper, because the blind spot monitoring uses the outside sensors on the bumper to turn the light on your mirror for the blind spots. But sounds to me like there's some unreported damage or unreported paintwork. Maybe there was no paintwork, but something was pushed or otherwise damaged regarding the sensors. So like a corner of the bumper, maybe somebody backed into something. That's kind of what it sounds like. June of 2020, the KLG customer service program was done. That's the GPS location being incorrect, so that's corrected. And a clunk noted when backing up, and they found no issues, along with 2 new rear tires at 24,500 miles. I have seen that complaint on more than a few cars. When you back up at full lock, you'll hear like a thud. Don't know what that is. Maybe that's the front lower control arm bushings let the control arm move around a little too much. But that's something that I have seen on others, and I wouldn't call that common, but it's a complaint that I've seen. Also in June of 2020, paint both front bumper corners for $500. I'm guessing that's the lower edges. This car here, when it was sold certified pre-owned, they kind of did the same thing. It's like right there on the bottom, underneath the bumper. When I had this bumper off to replace the carbon fiber piece and do all that, that's when I noticed that. But I was aware that one corner was touched up, not both, but on mine, both were touched up, and that's what they did here too. So the reason you see that is it's the lowest point on these cars. It kind of sticks out, especially for like curbs and driveways. And so not unusual to see a little bit of paint work right there. February of 2022, the 20LE01 was done. That is also known as the HVAC servo sweep. So that resets the limits of the maximum for all of the servo motors underneath the dash. And so they were probably having some kind of issues. August of 2022, the right rear shock was replaced. The 2017s through 2020s had the leaking defective internal oil seal on these adjustable damping shocks. Some of them leaked when they were brand new. They had like 15, 20 miles on them. Some of them made it to 70 or 80,000. This one's at 35,000 when the first one started leaking. So not unusual. And it is in 2022, so it's after the part was updated too. So it should be the latest and greatest shock. So shouldn't have that issue again until they're worn out and need replacement. November of 2023, 40,000 miles, the left front shock was now replaced and 2 rear tires again. So that means that we've still got the right front and the left rear shock that have not been replaced on this car. October of 2024, at 46,000 miles, the 60,000 mile service. So done a little bit early, but it is specific to being done with the spark plug. So the spark plugs have already been replaced on this car. March of 2026, probably done by this dealer that's selling it, 54,000 miles, paint reconditioning, and an oil change. That's likely, it's not being sold certified pre-owned because it's too old. 8 years old is the maximum that it can be sold as certified pre-owned, but it was reconditioned and maybe some touch-ups on the paint, maybe some polishing, something like that, but there was some reconditioning done. So what's not done? The other 2 shocks, the right front, the left rear. The ZLZ, the cracked, deforming, sticky dash on this car, that's covered from 10 years from the end service date. I didn't write the end service date down on this car, but I'll put it right there. I would probably do the differential service and the TVD service because that has not been done yet. Maybe the coolant as well, because everything in it is going on almost 10 years old. Inspect the valley plate. A lot of the 16s are having this, and some of the 17s are already, you're starting to see it, but the leaking valley plate, heat cycles and time, not necessarily mileage. This one was replaced or resealed at 50,000. My blue one, it's the same age, also a 2016. That one was done at about 150,000, so 100,000 miles apart, but basically around the same time. I guess the only other thing would be the carbon fiber trim is probably original on the inside. So if any of it is delaminating or anything, wouldn't be surprised to see that. But again, that's another concern. But it's basically good to go. I mean, I don't see a lot else it needs. It's well serviced. It's got lots of green flags. Like I don't see a lot, unless it's like super cosmetically bad or something, but it looks pretty good. And I'm not surprised it sold really quick. So that brings me to would I buy this car? Absolutely. This would be one that I would consider all day long. It's got all the green flags, definitely what you want to see in a car. And that just goes to show you, there are still good ones out there. That's why I make these videos, is for the guys that are looking for the good ones or the guys that are looking for a high mileage one to just put miles on. You know, I'm kind of keeping my eyes out for everybody, but this one, I got emails and messages on it right when it popped up. And, you know, I had to look at it very quickly and I said, yep, it's good to go, but it sold within 4 hours. I don't know who bought it, but if you're seeing this and you bought this, comment down below. But it is definitely a fantastic looking example on paper. So as long as cosmetically, when you see the pictures of it, it's good, I think it'd be a great buy, especially at $50,000. So that's what I've got for you guys. VIN 2190. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.